Hello knitters, Barbara Benson here. I am an independent knitwear designer who also likes to make videos here on my YouTube channel, Watch Barbara Knit. If you'd like to know more about my knitwear designs, please check in the description below, and there you will find a link to my Ravelry page where you will find pictures of all the things I have designed and possibly get a PDF for yourself so you can knit up one of my designs. Also in the description below, you will find a link to my Facebook group for Watch Barbara Knit, and I'd love to have you come over and join. It is a place where we can continue the conversation of all the things that we've talked about on videos here. It is a closed group, so we can share pictures and things, but just request and I will approve you. Today, I have for you a free mini shawl pattern. When I say mini shawl, what I'm saying is I only knit a mini version, but it is a very small, fast pattern that you can expand to be as big of a shawl as you want. This particular one has a 4-row setup and a 4-row repeat. So those are you only really need to learn 8 rows. You work that 4-row repeat over and over and over again, and poof, you've got a shawl. Now, today's shawl I have for you is called a heart-shaped shawl. Now, it isn't truly, a heart, but it is a variant on a triangle that looks sort of like a heart. I have to show you my tiny cute shawl. Isn't it cute? So, this is the tiny cute shawl. As you can see, it's like a triangle shawl, but it's got these big wings. So like the top of it is like a crescent shaped shawl, but the bottom of it is a point. And so I was going to show it to you on a Barbie doll, and then I realized, yay, I have a 10-year-old son and I don't have any Barbie dolls. So instead, I have for you Commander Riker, and we are going to dress Commander Riker up in his shawl so you can see how it fits. So you see here, doesn't he look very stylish? But you can see how if you would probably need 2 full skeins to do this. If you knit a gigantic shawl proportionately, see how the fronts come around. You've still got the spine down the back, but the fronts lay on and you can actually wear it a lot more easily than a traditional shawl. And you could maybe throw this up here, but I think he looks very dashing. And it's a lot of fun. But so that is the heart-shaped shawl. Obviously, if you knit it smaller in proportion to your body size, it won't be quite that large. I also chose to use a stitch. This is called the woven stitch, and it plays very, very nicely with variegated yarns. Because of the slip stitches, it breaks up the color patterning. This is the Fiber Seed Sprout sock, and the color is Loch Ness, and I think it is just gorgeous, and it works really well with this stitch pattern. Of course, you can knit this in pretty much any yarn weight you want to, and you just need enough yarn to make it as big as you want. I can't tell you how much yarn you're going to need because I don't know how big you want to make this shawl. When you look at picking out needles, look at your ball band, and whatever ball band tells you to work at, you actually want to go up a couple of needle sizes because you want a good drape because it's a shawl. But what you really need to do is swatch so that you find a drape that you like. And yes, I said swatch. So without further ado, here is your free pattern for a heart-shaped shawl. We're going to cast on using the long tail cast on. You need about 6 inches of yarn for your tail to weave in, and then you need a little bit of yarn. We're going to cast on a total of 7 stitches, so not a whole lot. With your tail over here, wrap your yarn around your finger and make an X. Then pull this loop out, reach through the loop you've created, grab that yarn, and slip the knot. There you go. We have our loop. We're going to put our needle in the loop and then tighten the slip knot down. There we go. Now to cast on 7 stitches, we're going to use the long tail cast on. Your working yarn, the yarn that goes to your ball, goes over your index finger here, and then you grab the 2 strands here, stick your thumb in, make a slingshot. You go under here and wrap this around. Your slip knot counts as your first stitch, so now that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're good to go. Get in position to knit. We want to make sure that your tail, right here, this guy here, is out of your way because you don't want to accidentally knit with it. And you tension your working yarn however you do. If you do it in your right hand. I do it in my left hand. And that's set up there. We're going to do 4 setup rows. Our first setup row is, as always, a little challenging to work into this first row. You knit 2, knit 1, knit 2, and then we're going to yarn over, knit 1 4 times. So yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, knit 1. That's 2, yarn over, knit 1. That's 3, yarn over, knit 1. That's 4. Move your yarn to front and slip that last stitch so we can have a nice neat edge. So we started with cast on of 7. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 because we increased by 4. I'm going to turn it over. So for row 2, we're going to knit 3, 1. Oh, I didn't quite get that one. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to purl 2, purl 1, purl 2, and that gets us to our center stitch. This center stitch on the wrong side will always be framed by the yarn overs from the increases from the previous side. So we are going to increase, let's get that out of the way, into this center stitch. So we're going to knit 1, leave that stitch on the needle, yarn over, and then knit 1 again into that same stitch. So we've increased by 2. Then we're going to purl 2, knit 2, and as with the right side row, move the yarn to front and slip that last stitch so we have a nice neat edge. Now we increased by 2, so we should be at 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Ta-da! Okay, we have 1 more setup stripe, so 2 more setup rows to go. Make sure we're still working with that yarn ball yarn, not that sneaky tail. So this is just a plain roll. We're going to knit 2, yarn over, and then we're going to knit to the center stitch. Now, the way we're going to be able to identify this center stitch is it will be framed by purl bumps from the previous row. See what we got right there? See that purl bump? I'm going to hold it up close. Will you focus for me? Hang on. Do-do-do. Boop. Maybe. There we go. But you have that purl bump, right? Now that I move back down here, I got to refocus it. There we go. You knit that purl bump, and then you yarn over, knit the center stitch, yarn over, and then we're going to knit until there's 2 more stitches left, right? So there's our 2 stitches, yarn over, knit 1, slip 1, move the yarn to front, and slip that stitch with yarn in front. Okay, now I'm going to scan this down here so you can see. You've got that, see the yarn over, knit 1, yarn over. This is your center stitch between those 2 yarn overs. Now for the wrong side row, we're going to knit 3. So you knit your selvage and that yarn over, and then we're going to purl. Oh, I did my funny purl. Sorry, guys. Purl. It's such a habit for me to purl like this. I know it looks crazy. you're purling up to the center stitch. And here, you see that yarn over we hit? That tells us the center stitch is next. So we're going to again knit 1, yarn over, knit 1 into that center stitch. And then our next stitch is that yarn over from the previous row. We're going to purl until we have our last 3 stitches. Knit 2, slip 1 with yarn in front. So those are all of our setup rows. Now at this point, if you would like to, see, we're going to go back and see we can identify that center stitch because it's got the purl bumps on either side. If you would like to, you can take a locking stitch marker and put it through like that to mark your center column so that you know where that is and you know when it's coming up. Now, the pattern has 4 rows. Row 1 of the pattern is knit 2, okay, yarn over, then knit 1, and then move your yarn to front, insert your needle purlwise, slip 1 with yarn in front, move it to back, knit 1, slip 1 with yarn in front, knit 1, slip 1 with yarn in front, and then right here, see that purl bump, right? That tells us that the next stitch is the center stitch, so knit 1. So it's knit 1, and then slip 1 with yarn in front, knit 1 until you reach your center stitch. At that point, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over. Then you knit 1, and then again slip 1 with yarn in front, knit 1, slip 1 with yarn in front. Nope, almost purled it. Nope. Knit 1, slip 1 with yarn in front, and you do that until the last 2 stitches. Yarn over, knit 1, slip 1 with yarn in front. So there we go. So let's talk about that again. So it's knit 2, yarn over, knit 1, and then the instructions are slip 1 with yarn in front, knit 1 until you reach your center stitch. Then you yarn over, knit in that center stitch, yarn over, right? And you can see if I pull down, that's that center column of stitches. And then for the trailing edge, you knit 1, you've got your yarn over, and then you knit 1, slip 1 with yarn in front, knit 1, slip 1 with yarn in front, knit 1, until your last 2 stitches. Yarn over, knit 1, slip 1. So you knit 2, knit 1, knit 2, knit 3. That's your selvage. Now we're going to purl to the center stitch. And if you remember, I said that you'll know you're right before the center stitch when you hit the yarn over. So I'm purling. Oh, look there. See how that looks? That's the yarn over. So we're going to purl that yarn over, and this is the center stitch. So we're going to increase in it. So knit 1, yarn over, knit 1 into that stitch. Then we're going to purl to the last 3 stitches. Purl, purl, purl. I know it's very exciting watching me purl. I might speed this up. We're at our last 3 stitches, and we know it because we hit that yarn over. So we knit 2, move the yarn to front, slip that stitch. Okay, that was rows 1 and 2 of the pattern repeat. I know it looks a bit a mess, but I promise it'll look better. Again, we still have this locking stitch marker in our center stitch, and you can follow up the column to find that center stitch right here between those 2 purl bumps. So now for rows 3 and 4 of the repeat. To work row 3, we're going to knit 2, yarn over, knit 1, slip 1 with yarn in front, just like before. Knit 1, slip 1 with yarn in front, knit 1, slip 1 with yarn in front. But this time we are doing it to 1 stitch before that center stitch, because see, we ended slip 1, knit 1, so we need to actually then knit 1 more stitch to get us to that center stitch. You can see up the column, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, and then we're going to knit 2 before we go back to slip 1 with yarn in front, knit 1, 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 and as you can see, we have 2 more stitches left, so yarn over, knit 1, slip 1 with yarn in front. Okay, see, it's starting to really fan out. It makes a big pattern. Now, if it helps you, you can move this marker up as you go along. But if you just watch for those purl bumps on the right side and the yarn overs on the wrong side, it'll give you a warning that that center stitch is coming up. So now for row 4, we start just like the other ones. Knit 2, actually knit 3. There we go. And then we're going to purl like a crazy person, obviously. Purl across the row until we reach the warning that we're at the center stitch, which is that yarn over. Nope, still purling, still purling, still purling. Ooh, 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 there it is. There's that yarn over. So you purl that yarn over. The next stitch is your center stitch, and you can see that's the column we've marked. Knit 1, yarn over, knit 1 in that center stitch. Next stitch is the yarn over, so we're going to purl it to the last 3 stitches. It's kind of tough to knit so far away from my body so that the camera can be sandwiched in between. I promise you guys, when I'm just knitting for fun or for work, I'm substantially faster than this. But I don't want to go super fast for you guys, because I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing. Purl, purl. Oh, there's my yarn over. So knit 2, slip with yarn in front. And that's it. This is how this is formed. And you can see that the columns, they alternate. See, this is where the yarn is slipped in front, and then it goes back and forth. So that's how we're doing this. I told you I'd show you one more time. We are now back to row 1, because all you do is repeat rows 1 through 4 until the shawl's pretty much as big as you want it to be. So knit 2, yarn over, knit 1, slip 1 with yarn in front. So you knit 1, slip 1 with yarn in front until you get to that center stitch. And you remember, the warning that you're coming to that center stitch is when you see a purl bump, because those are the only purl bumps you're going to run into in the middle. Slip 1, knit 1, slip 1. Oh, look, fixing to knit. See that purl bump right there? That means that's my last knit. This is my center stitch. So we're yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, knit that purl bump, and then slip with yarn in front. Get out of the way. Knit, slip with yarn in front, knit, slip with yarn in front. These rows get long super fast. So you're going to knit 1, slip 1 with yarn in front until there are 2 stitches left. Boop. I missed that stitch entirely, guys. Yarn over, knit 1, slip 1 with yarn in front. There you go. The only difference between rows 1 and rows 3 is that row 1 is knit 1, slip 1 with yarn in front to the marker, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over. And then row 3 is knit 1, slip 1 with yarn in front to 1 stitch before that center stitch, and you end up with 2 knits before that center stitch. If it doesn't make any sense, you might want to just go backwards a little bit. You can rewatch this video as many times as you want. And I want you to show you what the shawl looks like. Here's the tiny shawl. Isn't he cute? So, what this is it's like a triangle, except for you've got these big wings, and they call this a heart shape because it's vaguely heart shape, right? But when you have a triangle shawl, you have a straight line here. Essentially, if I folded these guys down like this, that's your triangle shawl, right? But with this shape, you've got these big wings, which can hang over your shoulders. And so it sits much better. But it means that you have to do a lot more rows to get more distance here, because we're shifting a lot of the yarn that would be to up here. But that is the easy heart-shaped shawl. I hope you enjoyed that video. You might want to check in the description down below, and I will put a link there to the Ravelry page for this pattern. So if you decide to make it up, you can associate your project with the Ravelry page. There will also be a PDF there. If you want a cheat sheet, a printed version of this pattern, you can get that on Ravelry. It does cost a tiny bit of money just to, make up for the work that I put into making it all up. But I tried to keep it as low as possible. But if you need a cheat sheet, check in the description below and you'll find a link to the Ravelry page. If you like this video, please give it the thumbs up, click that like button. And if you'd like to be notified when I upload any new videos, please subscribe to my channel and select notifications. Thank you so much.